Iron Talk is brought to you by Case IH.
The world of farming is changing. From the power and versatility of Steiger and Magnum tractors to the legendary reliability of axial flow combines, Case IH can help you be ready. To learn more, visit caseih.com/be ready.
How important were tile plows in the upper Midwest this year? They literally made the difference between planting a crop and not turning a wheel in some extreme cases. We'll talk about an average return on investment from tiling during today's Iron Talk. There are a number of ways to look at how tiling pays you back on the farm. Most commonly, people look at the areas that dip in bushels per acre on their yield maps. Depending on where you farm, it may be 5 to 10% of your acres, or possibly even more where drainage is the main culprit. Let's say 5% of your acres are at zero yield and another 5% get only half of your expected yield of 200 bushels per acre. How much does that hurt you on 1,000 acres of corn? Well, if 90% of the acres are perfect, you'd have 900 acres of 200 bushel corn for 180,000 bushels. You'd have 50 acres at half yield or 100 bushels, that's 5,000 bushels total, and 50 acres where you got nothing. So that's a total of 185,000 bushels on 1,000 acres for an average of 185 bushels per acre. Well, that's 15,000 bushels lost times $6 new crop corn is $90,000 lost. If you spent $300 an acre tiling those 100 problem acres, the cost would be $30,000. If you bought a brand new tile plow, guidance system, and stringer cart, you'd spend in the neighborhood of $40,000. So on an investment of $30,000 for tile and $40,000 for equipment, you could potentially make an additional $90,000 this year. Now in year 2, you could make the extra $90,000 again with no additional expense, and it could easily work that way for the next 30, 40, or 50 years. My point today is if your drainage is subpar and you farm in the upper Midwest, it showed up this year in the fields. It's tough to imagine a better return on investment from an equipment purchase than a tile plow. That's all for today's Iron Talk, and now back to the show.